A hidden world tucked away in the rugged mountains of Pakistan, where time seems to have stood still. A people so unique they seem plucked from the pages of a fairy tale. Nestled in the remote valleys of Bumbaret and Birir, this small community of just 3,000 to 4,000 individuals has captivated the imagination of explorers and anthropologists alike. But what truly sets the Kalash apart? What makes them a living enigma in the heart of Asia? It's their striking blue eyes, a feature so rare in this part of the world that it's like stumbling upon sapphires in a sea of onyx. These azure orbs, set against fair skin and often framed by blonde hair, tell a story of mysterious origins and ancient bloodlines. As you venture into their world, you'll find yourself transported to a place where ancient customs still reign supreme, where every face tells a tale of resilience and every tradition holds the key to their survival. The Kalash, with their vibrant clothing and even more colorful customs, are more than just a tribe. They're a living proof of human diversity and the enduring power of culture. So, are you ready to unravel the mysteries of the Kalash? To discover how this tiny community has managed to preserve its unique identity against all odds? Let's get to know more about the Kalash tribe. In a land dominated by Islamic traditions, the Kalash stand out. Known to their neighbors as the Kafir tribe, a term that roughly translates to unbelievers, these people have carved out a unique niche in Pakistan's cultural landscape. Their belief system makes them stand out. While the rest of Pakistan follows Islam, the Kalash dance to the beat of a different drum, quite literally. They practice animism, a belief that sees the divine in every rustling leaf, babbling brook, and majestic mountain. Nature isn't just their surroundings, it's their god, their guide, their everything. This departure from Islamic practices hasn't come without a price. Marginalized and often misunderstood, the Kalash have faced centuries of pressure to conform, yet they've stood firm, their beliefs a fortress against the tides of change. Some scholars see in the Kalash echoes of ancient Hinduism, a tantalizing link to the subcontinent's pre-Islamic past. Could these be the last remnants of a culture that once flourished across the region? The mystery only adds to their allure. The 20th century brought new challenges as efforts to convert the Kalash intensified. Some succumbed to the pressure, only to find themselves exiled from their own community, a harsh price for abandoning tradition. But for every person who left, many more dug in their heels, determined to keep their unique culture alive. Their story isn't just about preserving traditions, it's about preserving the very essence of who they are. Let's move to their social norms and customs. Step into a Kalash village, and you'll feel like you've entered a different world. One where the rules that govern much of Pakistan simply don't apply. Here, men and women mingle freely, their laughter and chatter filling the air with a sense of equality that's rare in this part of the world. In Kalash society, education isn't divided by gender. Boys and girls sit side by side in classrooms, sharing knowledge and dreams. But the togetherness doesn't end when the school bell rings. You'll see men and women playing, singing, and dancing together, activities that would raise eyebrows elsewhere in Pakistan, but are just part of daily life here. Perhaps most surprising is their approach to marriage. Forget arranged unions. In Kalash culture, love leads the way. Young people are free to choose their partners, a concept that sounds revolutionary in a country where many marriages are still decided by families. Their relationship with alcohol is notable. In a nation where Islamic law prohibits drinking, the Kalash valleys are an oasis for those seeking a different kind of spirit. In this region, the production of homemade liquor and wine isn't just allowed, it's celebrated. The Kalash brew their own potent drinks, a skill passed down through generations. This unique freedom has turned the Kalash valleys into a magnet for adventurous tourists. Visitors come from far and wide, drawn by the promise of tasting forbidden fruits and experiencing a slice of life that exists nowhere else in Pakistan. The Kalash way of life is more than just a set of customs. It's a bold statement in a conservative land. It challenges norms, pushes boundaries, and reminds us that diversity can thrive even in the most unlikely places. In the heart of Pakistan, the Kalash are writing their own rules and inviting the world to take notice. If you thought the daily life of the Kalash was fascinating, wait until you experience their festivals. These aren't just celebrations. They're explosions of color, music, and tradition that will leave you breathless. The Kalash calendar is marked by 3 main festivals, each a spectacle in its own right. Chilum Joshi heralds the arrival of spring in May, a time when the valleys burst into bloom and the Kalash into song. Uchao marks the golden days of autumn, a celebration of harvest and abundance. But it's Chamos, the midwinter festival, that truly captures the essence of Kalash culture. Chamos is the crown jewel of Kalash festivities, a time when the whole community comes alive with energy. And no, you can't just walk in and join the party. This festival comes with its own rulebook, and only those well-versed in Kalash customs are allowed to participate. For the uninitiated, there are purification rites to undergo, a reminder that in Kalash society, tradition is sacred. But perhaps the most intriguing aspects of Kalash culture are their seclusion traditions. Young men are sent to the mountains to live with goats, a test of endurance and willpower. Women, during menstruation or pregnancy, retreat to a place called Bashalani, a secluded dormitory far from the village. In Bashalani, women enter a world of their own. No contact with family or others is allowed. Food is left at a distance by relatives. It's only after their period ends or they give birth that they can rejoin the community. To outsiders, this might seem harsh, but for the Kalash, it's a fundamental part of their belief system, a way of maintaining purity and balance. These traditions, as strange as they might seem to us, are the threads that weave the fabric of Kalash society. They're not just customs, they're the living, breathing essence of a culture that has survived against all odds. In a world racing towards uniformity, the Kalash remind us of the value of holding on to our unique ways of life. In the Kalash valleys, love doesn't just bloom, it takes flight. Women have a right that would make Jane Austen's heroines swoon, the freedom to elope. Imagine a society where a woman can choose her partner and run off into the sunset, or in this case, the mountains, without fear of reprisal. It's not just accepted, it's woven into the very fabric of their culture. But hold your horses, Romeo and Juliet. There's a catch. After the whirlwind elopement, the couple must wait 2 months before the formal ceremony. It's like a cosmic cooling-off period, giving both families time to adjust to the new reality. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. If a woman decides to remarry, her new beau better be ready to open his wallet. The rules state that the second husband must compensate the first with cash and gifts, double the initial dowry. It's like a romantic transfer fee in the world's most unusual football league. Divorce? Well, that's another area where Kalash women hold the cards. They can initiate divorce proceedings. And here's the kicker. The husband must accept. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's a level of autonomy that's almost unheard of in the region. But before you start packing your bags for this feminist utopia, there's a catch. Interfaith marriages, particularly when Kalash women elope with Muslim men, often end in heartbreak. These unions frequently crumble under the weight of cultural differences, leaving the women in a difficult position. Returning to the tribe isn't easy. They face restrictions and may even be barred from participating in festivals. While love is free, it comes with its own unique set of rules and consequences. It's a system that challenges our notions of marriage and divorce, reminding us that there's more than one way to approach matters of the heart. At first glance, the Kalash might seem like a beacon of gender equality. Women choosing their partners, initiating divorces. It's revolutionary stuff. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find that even in this progressive pocket of Pakistan, traditional gender roles still hold sway. When it comes to the daily grind, there's a clear division of labor. Women are the queens of the household, managing domestic chores with the efficiency of a well-oiled machine. Men, on the other hand, flex their muscles with physical labor and venture out to sell goods. It's like a carefully choreographed dance, each gender playing their part in the rhythm of daily life. But here's where it gets interesting. Despite the apparent freedom in other areas, there's one rule that's strictly enforced. Men and women have separate areas for bathing and washing. It's a reminder that even in the most liberal societies, some boundaries remain firmly in place. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the rumor that's been floating around about the Kalash. You might have heard whispers about a tradition called bubul during the Chamos festival, where young men can supposedly be intimate with any woman they choose. Sounds scandalous, right? Well, hold on to your hats, because we're about to bust this myth wide open. The Kalash vehemently deny this tradition, calling it a malicious rumor spread by outsiders to tarnish their reputation. It's a classic case of cultural misunderstanding, where a unique society becomes the subject of wild speculation. So, what's the truth about gender roles in Kalash society? It's a complex tapestry of progressive ideals and traditional values, of freedom and restrictions. It reminds us that no culture is simple, and that understanding often requires us to look beyond the surface and challenge our own assumptions. As you trek through the rugged mountains of Pakistan, you'll stumble upon a sight that makes you question reality. Women with skin as fair as snow, and eyes as blue as the summer sky, their features so striking they seem to belong to another world entirely. These women aren't just turning heads, they're rewriting the book on South Asian beauty standards. Their distinctive features, fair skin that would make a porcelain doll jealous, and eyes so blue they'd put the Mediterranean to shame, have become the stuff of legend. It's no wonder tourists often describe their first encounter with Kalash women as stepping into a fairy tale. Kalash women are fashion trendsetters in their own right. Their attire is a riot of colors that would make a rainbow look dull. Intricate head coverings, woven with patterns passed down through generations, crown their heads like regal diadems. Their garments, each a masterpiece of craftsmanship, tell stories of tradition and identity. And let's not forget the hair, elegantly braided styles that would put any Instagram influencer to shame. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. There's a theory floating around that links the Kalash's unique looks to none other than Alexander the Great. Yes, that Alexander. The story goes that the legendary conqueror and his army sought refuge in these valleys around 320 BC, leaving behind more than just memories. It's a tantalizing tale, one that adds an extra layer of mystique to the Kalash women. As exciting as this theory is, concrete evidence is as elusive as a snow leopard in summer. The truth about the origins of Kalash beauty remains shrouded in mystery, leaving us to wonder and speculate. This place is so captivating, so otherworldly, that it's dubbed the Valley of Fairies. No, this isn't the setting of a fantasy novel. It's how tourists describe the Kalash valleys. In a world where unique experiences are the new currency, the Kalash have hit the jackpot without even trying. Travelers from around the globe are flocking to this remote corner of Pakistan, drawn by the promise of stepping into a living time capsule. It's not just the stunning landscapes that lure them in, it's the chance to witness a way of life that exists nowhere else on Earth. From the vibrant festivals to the unique customs, every aspect of Kalash culture has become a magnet for the curious and the adventurous. But the influence of the Kalash extends far beyond their valleys. In an unexpected twist, their traditional fashion is making waves in modern Pakistani style. Designers in bustling cities like Karachi and Lahore are drawing inspiration from the intricate patterns and bold colors of Kalash attire. It's a fascinating fusion of ancient tradition and contemporary chic, proving that the Kalash impact reaches far beyond their mountain homes. However, this surge in popularity is a double-edged sword. While tourism brings much-needed economic opportunities, it also poses challenges. How do you preserve a unique culture when the outside world comes knocking? The Kalash are walking a tightrope, balancing their traditional way of life with the realities of the modern world. As word of the Kalash spreads, misconceptions inevitably follow. Some outsiders romanticize their lifestyle, painting them as noble savages living in perfect harmony with nature. Others view them with suspicion, unable to comprehend a community that doesn't conform to the norms of the surrounding society. The truth, as always, lies somewhere in between. The Kalash are neither fairy tale characters nor relics of the past. They're a living, breathing community, facing the same challenges and changes as the rest of us, just in their own unique way. As the Kalash navigate their path forward, one thing is clear. They've captured the world's imagination. Whether as a tourist destination, a source of fashion inspiration, or simply as a reminder of the incredible diversity of human culture, the Kalash have secured their place in the global consciousness. Their story is far from over. In fact, it might just be beginning. Have you been to this beautiful part of the world? Had a chance to interact with the Kalash tribe? Share your experience in the comments section. Did you like this video? Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more similar videos.